Hello, second grade. Awesome job with your clouds. You guys did a great job. You guys put me to shame. I look at my drawing and it doesn't compare to you guys. You guys are awesome. Henry, goodness gracious, Brandon, and several others that Sophia, Jaritza, Dahlia, goodness gracious, you guys are awesome. So I promised, I gave Henry a preview. I said, Mr. Guaman is consistently emailing me, which is a good thing. So big shout out to Henry. What's up, my guy? So I told Henry that we would be working on something that is spiky, succulents, cacti. They're typically found in deserts. Cacti is plural for cactus, so instead of saying cactuses, one would say cacti. But in short, let's focus on our, I believe it's our number 4 implied texture drawing, second grade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a couple of curved lines, and I'm drawing. You can draw whether you choose. As you can see, kids, I have a habit of drawing on the horizontal or the landscape, the wide way, as opposed to the tall, the portrait or vertical. So again, we just started off with a couple of curved lines here at the base, okay guys? And then I'm gonna go with a couple more curved lines over here, guys, okay? And I'm not done, of course. Let me go with a couple more curved lines over here. And hopefully you guys approve. Now, by that I mean what I'm trying to draw is something called a prickly pear. And prickly pears are found, believe it or not, throughout the world. They're found in North Africa, they're found in Europe, they're even found in the Midwest, believe it or not. But when I look at these prickly pears, they remind me of home. I was born in Mexico, and as I said, they remind me of home. So I'm gonna draw some more prickly pears up here. And you might know these as nopales, but yes, technically they're also known as prickly pears. And the reason that they are called prickly pears in Spanish is because, I'm so sorry, in English is because of the fruits that they produce. In Spanish, I believe they're called tunas, not to be confused with atún, which is of course tuna, but tunas. So, and again, they are these little reddish fruits that grow atop the leaves, okay? Actually, they're not leaves. You would call them petals. Actually, believe it or not, guys, the spikes on a cactus, or in this case, our prickly pear, believe it or not, the spikes, these are actually modified leaves, believe it or not. These are modified leaves. So I'm going to go on ahead and add some short diagonal lines, creating this spiky texture. And you want to go beyond the petal. You want to go beyond the curved lines or the outer part of the cacti, or excuse me, the cactus petals, guys. And the prickly pear fruit is also spiky, so we have to be careful with that, with the prickly pears. And I know firsthand, as a little boy, I fell head first into one. It's a mistake I only made once. But in short, as you can see, guys, we're just using some curved lines for our petals or our nopales or prickly pear. Okay? And again, good job with your drawings. You're doing an amazing job. I mean it. Those clouds, that's a log. They were awesome, guys. And I just want to say, keep up the good work, okay? And I mean it when I say that. You guys are really doing a great job. You guys put me to shame. So here we go, guys, okay? And as you can see, I'm just using curved lines and some diagonal lines. Okay, that's all I'm doing. That's all pretty much that I'm doing here, guys, as you can see. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Excuse me. So I'm kind of going in a pattern, and it's kind of a curve, but instead of a curve, rather, it's, of course, these diagonal lines. And I suppose some of them are slightly curved, and that's okay. You can produce the illusion of a long spike or prick. They're called pricks, and of needle-like. And again, you can do the research. And it's been a long time, guys, since my botany class or course. I had to learn about, I chose to learn about things in Mother Nature as a young man. And yes, if memory serves, these spikes or pricks are actually modified leaves. They're actually modified leaves. And why do you think the cacti or cactuses, or a cactus I should say in this case, why do you think a prickly pear needs spikes? Why would anything need spikes? Well, to protect itself. Because these guys are called succulents, which means they hold a lot of water. And there are, of course, animals that live in the desert that are very thirsty, of course. And they do their best to chew on these leaves, but because these leaves have needles or pricks, they can't really do a great job of destroying, or they don't destroy the prickly pear completely. So it's nature's way of protecting, or its own way rather, of protecting itself using these spikes or pricks or modified leaves. Okay, guys, so we're getting there. And again, so you can kind of draw, if you can't picture the curved line, you can draw 1, 2, 3, and then that's how we go about placing these spikes or the pricks or needles. Okay, guys, that's how we're gonna go about doing this. Okay, and smaller ones on the prickly pear fruit, smaller ones. Now, that's our prickly pear, and hopefully it looks spiky, because these prickly pears, as I said, they have these spikes or pricks or needles to protect itself. Now, you want to take it a step further? You guys know that I have a habit of putting or placing my sun, the light source, the sun, to the upper right. Now, why do I mention that, guys? Because if you want to make it look a little more realistic, or maybe take it a step further, you can add darker lines on one side. And what do I mean by that? I'm just gonna have some curved lines over here. And it's like with your cloud, guys. Remember those shapes that look like C's? And what you went on ahead and did was you kind of created a shadowed area, and that shadowed area always serves to create an illusion, or a, how can I put it, guys? It makes your drawing look a little more realistic or representational. Remember that word, guys? Representational. Henry, go on. What does representational mean, Henry? I know, Mr. Ruiz. That means that when you draw something, you try to make it look real. You try your best to teach us to become artists. And, well, you guys are artists. You guys are the artists. I'm just trying my best to stay sane and teach you the little that I know, guys. But you guys are the real artists. So, again, guys, because my sun is at the upper right, I'm going to place my curved lines. Basically, it's called a hatching pattern, guys. And it's to darken one side. And again, this creates an illusion of depth in your drawing. Like with the cloud, how some of the cloud look fluffy. And how did you make it look fluffy? Not just with the use of curved lines, but that's those zigzag lines or those jagged lines that created an effect of a shadow. Okay, guys? So again, I'm placing my curved lines, which is basically this hatch, at the left part, not the right, at the left. Okay, guys? And you can take it a step further. And what do I mean by that? You can add more of these curved lines here to create a darker area. Okay. So again, I want to say thank you to Sophia. Well, your parents, as well as you guys, because I know that without your parents, it would be super difficult to turn in the assignments. And so again, I just want to say thank you to Sophia's mom and dad, or her big sister. I want to say thank you to Henry's mom or dad, to Joelle Garcia's mom. I just want Brandon's mom. I just want to say thank you so much for your help. I can't give you guys grades if you guys don't turn in the work. So I just want to say thank you to all of you guys who have made this possible. And again, I look forward to seeing you guys. I'm getting used to working at home, but there's nothing like being with you guys. Remember second grade gifted in particular, you guys would always put a smile on my face. Well, 90% of the time. And you guys, I told you guys, you guys are one of the reasons why my Fridays are so awesome. I would see my second grade gifted class, Miss Soundtech's class, on Friday, and you guys always had a way of making me feel good. So there we go, guys. I hope you approve. So here's our implied texture drawing number 4, and I hope it looks like a prickly pear. Okay, guys, be happy, be safe, be healthy. Talk to you guys later.